Odisha's underground marvel. A massive 3,000 plus kilometer long underground pipeline network to take water to each farmer's doorstep. Irrigating 129 villages to help 35,000 plus farmers farm a variety of crops through the year.
This will perhaps be the largest micro irrigation project in the country.
A battle against tricky terrain, tricky weather and the COVID-19 pandemic. Built in a record 3 years. A high-tech zero-waste model of sustainable farming. The Odisha Chief Minister's vision becomes a reality. This is the making of Odisha's underground marvel. Rice, one of India's most popular grains. India is one of the world's largest rice exporters. And Odisha is among the country's top rice producers. At the center, Odisha's bhatta handi or rice bowl, Bargarh.
Bargarh district plays a major role in the food security of the state, one of the biggest rice producing districts of the country.
But some of Bargarh's rice farmers struggle to water their paddy.
See, if you look at the entire district, there's a wide disparity in terms of the irrigation potential that we have. Although across the district there are large number of farmers engaged in paddy cultivation, but on one hand, whereas we have a permanent source of irrigation, so there they are able to do 2 crops. But on the other hand, there are upland areas where the sources of irrigation are not perennial, so they are dependent on the rain as well as on bore wells.
Rain-fed rice farms are particularly vulnerable to the monsoon's changing moods. And in Bargarh, the impact is far-reaching.
3 मास तो पैन वर्षा होउजे सेतकी ती जा होचन जिंदा मुडा गुटे ढुडा गुटे ती पैन जिंदा और होउची सेती चार बाड़ी करी करी 6 मास तो चलुची.
In the best of times, Loknath is able to farm 1 or 2 crops in a year. When not so lucky, drought. Loknath and his family are packing up again. They are headed to the city during the dry spell.
बाहर के जीवार माने टे असुविधा देखि करी जीवार के पड़सी कमावार लगे ती पैसा अधिका फैल पैसा हेले कमाई दमे के चलमु बोली करी सेंदा हिसाब में मैदान खटी करी पले जीवार पड़सी.
They'll be back soon if the monsoon is on time. Loknath's problem, Bargarh's own terrain.
One portion of Bargarh, that is the Bijaypur constituency, was bypassed because of the height difference. So through a normal canal system, those areas cannot be irrigated, and it was bypassed for so many years.
The nearby Hirakud Dam is one of India's largest man-made lakes, more than equipped to water all of Bargarh's farms. But Bargarh's Bijaypur, Sohila, Barpalli blocks and the neighbouring Subharnapur, Dungarapalli are 30 to 32 meters or so higher than the water's reach. The solution? Lifting the waters from the Hirakud Dam all the way to the last farmer, literally. The Gangadhar Meher Lift Irrigation Project, Odisha's underground marvel. The massive Mahanadi networked into pipelines.
Our Honorable Chief Minister's vision is that in any drought-prone area, if there is a technical solution to bring in irrigation, we should do it. We will invest about 2,000 crores, have pipelines for about 3,000 kilometers, and ensure water in every hectare of land. This will perhaps be the largest micro irrigation project in the country.
getting the crops.
The blueprint is drawn up. At Odisha's largest canal at Bargarh, a pumping station will draw in water from the Hirakud Dam. Water will be lifted around 32 kilometers away to the next pumping station. And the final push of around 20 kilometers takes it to the third station. That's a whopping 50 plus kilometers of pushing the water up more than 30 to 32 meters.
The people of this locality are suffering from poverty since time immemorial. We have planned to provide the first spell of irrigation during the Rabi season.
The team rapidly charts out a plan. Bargarh's farmers need a lot of water. Water that cannot be carried through store-bought pipes. Construction teams must get them customized. Special fabrication yards are set up to create pipes as large as 3.8 meters in diameter. That's more than double the height of an average person. It takes more than 86,500 metric tons of steel to build this massive network. That's more than the weight of 8 Eiffel Towers.
So we have 14 villages through which the Gangadhar Mehel lift irrigation project passes. But the farmers, 6,000 farmers in those villages, they are not getting the water from this project per se. So naturally there was a huge uproar from these villagers. They did not want the pipeline to go through their fields. So the question naturally was, why should we give our land, or why should we spare our time and our land for this project from which we are not getting any water?
But first, each and every farmer under whose field the pipes will cross has to get on board, and quickly. This is the making of Odisha's underground marvel. This is the making of Odisha's underground marvel. Odisha's ambitious underground marvel is in the works. 3,000 plus kilometers of pipelines have to be laid. That's about 7 times the length of the Grand Canyon.
This addition of Bijaypur to the irrigation network will improve the agricultural productivity of the district as a whole. In addition to rice being produced, people will also grow vegetable crops and horticulture crops, which will add to the diversification efforts of our Honorable Chief Minister. That will give more income to the farmers.
Construction teams are on a tight deadline. Odisha's motto, the 5 T's: transparency, technology, teamwork, time and transformation, keeps the project on track.
This project was taken up under 5T initiative. We should not allow time overrun, cost overrun. So that was kept as a crucial component.
But first, Bargarh's farmers have to agree. Tapobanta set up a small shop selling shirts and saris to make ends meet. But he would rather be a full-time farmer.
पानी की शॉर्टेज की वजह से ना 2 ही फसल हो पाता है। अगर पानी की भरपूर मतलब अच्छी मात्रा में पर्याप्त मात्रा में अगर मिले, वो फैसिलिटी मिल जाए ना, तो 3 फसल आराम से हो सकते हैं सर। खेती में उतना आमदनी नहीं हो पा रहा है, उसी की वजह से हम लोग ना एक दूसरा प्लेटफॉर्म लिए हैं कि कुछ दुकान की से कुछ इनकम आ जाए तो हमारे परिवार में जो मेंटेनेंस का काम हो सके।
But when Tapobanta heard of the Gangadhar Meher lift irrigation project, he was not convinced.
जमीन को तो पहले मतलब जब बताए हम लोगों को, हमारे मन में शंका ही थी, इसलिए देना नहीं चाहती थी, क्योंकि मतलब जमीन में कितना खुदाई होगा, जमीन खराब हो जाएगा क्या,
the administration decides to reach out to Tapobanta directly. Public meetings to hear out doubts, discuss and come to a solution.
हमें लिस्ट आउट कर देबा जिन सब जिनिस अछि है ना जहाँ जहाँ अछि ताको हमें
उन्हीं का राय पूछा गया और उन्हीं को ये समझाया गया कि किस तरह आपका खेत को डैमेज नहीं होगा.
The massive pipes will be at least 1.2 meters below Bargar's farms.
सेकेंडली क्या गया कि उनका अगर जो डैमेज भी हो रहा है तो उनको कंपेंसेशन भी दी जाएगी.
You have to have a transparent way of approaching the people. You have to explain to them nicely, clearly, as to what are the benefits which are going to accrue to the people.
And to bridge the gap, the project's network is reworked to make sure all of Bargar is now connected. Many like Tapobanta decide to make the sacrifice. For the greater good, they would let the pipeline cross their land.
तो हम लोगों ने देखा कि जब खुदाई हो रहा था तो ज़मीन के करीब 3-4 फीट नीचे जा रहा है पाइप. तो हमें लगा कि हमारे ज़मीन का नुकसान नहीं होगा, चलो काम होगा शायद और पानी भी निकलेगा. तो एक आशा की किरण हमारे मतलब दिल में जगने लगे.
Slowly, the community begins backing the making of this underground marvel. But the construction team is up against the clock.
I think it is coordination between various agencies. You will have forest clearances, you will have road cuttings, you will have land acquisition issues. All those issues will be there.
The farmers who are actually benefiting, for them the problem is that this is a area where we do two paddy crops, both in Kharif as well as in Rabi. So there's a very small window where the work can actually be done because we needed to dig up the field, put in the pipeline, restore it back and then give it to the farmer.
With a larger pipe network ahead of them now, construction teams get digging. They've got 86 different hurdles ahead, crossing 53 roads, 1 railway track, 28 rivers, canals and drains, and 4 major rivers. To add to that, Bargar's earth is ever changing, sometimes sandy, sometimes slushy, sometimes clay, and sometimes the river's hard bedrock.
When pipe is laid, the welding has to be done throughout, in outer face of the joint and also in the inner face. For inner face it is not difficult. For outer face you have to go underneath the pipe. You have to have a clear space.
And just as the project takes off in full swing, Bargar is flooding. Rain lashes all of western Odisha, and the team is already battling spanners thrown by global crises.
And in Odisha, you know, the kind of monsoon that we get, that was a very huge challenge. In fact, till the last moment, we were trying to connect the last mile, some of the pipes were being fitted. Second was that there were a lot of NH, national highways that we crossed, a lot of other roads that we crossed. So each time that became a very big challenge.
As the waters ebb, the 3 crucial pump houses come up. Pump houses powered with up to 4,000 horsepower pumps. That's the power of supercars and race cars. And within the pump houses, the system that guarantees the project will be zero waste. SCADA, or Supervisory Control and Data Acquisition System, real-time monitoring and troubleshooting. Real-time distribution to ensure not a drop of water goes to waste.
So to ensure that this entire technology that has been put in place is monitored properly, we have a control room. We have a whole team of trained personnel who are going to ensure that this system works properly.
Each meter and valve in the field can be turned from this control room. Automation designed to cut inefficiencies and wastage. getting water to the farmer when he needs it and exactly how much he needs. And to keep Bargar's farms irrigated 24/7, 365 days a year, dedicated grids are laid to power the whole system and surrounding industries. A massive 33 kilovolt transmission line takes more than 31,000 plus kilowatts of energy to 3 dedicated bays and 2 grids. So Bargar's farms never run dry. The Gangadhar Meher Lift Irrigation Project is ready, and the farmers have already begun dreaming of a new Bargar.
नवीन बाबू जेनटा भी कहउछन कथारे खाली नहीं कहबार सेटा काम रे करि भी देखौछन
पाइप द्वारा जेन पैन उछे हमर जमीन भी नष्ट न है खराब न है आ पैन भी किसी खराब न है पानी भी सदुपयोग हे पारबा
और नवीन बाबू को बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद हमर मनर कथा जानि कर से हमको माने जलर व्यवस्था करछन सेति लगे ताको अशेष धन्यवाद.
People of Bargada have been amazingly cooperative. They wound up this project. That's why we could complete this project in record time. And they are going to create a record of all sorts, both in terms of the speed in which the project is completed and the area and the technology which has been used in this project.
This is the making of Odisha's underground marvel. This is the making of Odisha's underground marvel. Battling the tight deadline, treacherous terrain and weather. The Gangadhar Meher Lift Irrigation Project is ready. With a final push, the team hits their deadline.
It is a dream come true. It is a project which has been completed in 3 years, which is the fastest for a project of this magnitude. And it is a state-of-the-art project.
Odisha's underground marvel built against all odds, built in record time and cost. Pipes crisscross the entire region. From the third and highest pump house, 210 meters above sea level, pressurized pipes will do the job of distribution. To take water literally to Bargar's doorstep and onto the farmers' crops. The $240 million project will span 129 villages to help more than 35,000 farmers farm a variety of crops throughout the year. And each new harvest means more possibilities for Lal Saheb Barik. Today, he grows rice, foxnuts, lentils and a few vegetables. He is planning to sow his fields through the year now. More cash-rich crops for more savings, bigger investments in Lal Saheb's tomorrow.
सेई पैसा को आमे खर्च करी हमर पिला छुआ कर तांकर पढ़ा शुणा करबा पई घर तैयारी पई बा हमर केतेबेले जदि स्वास्थ्यर असुविधा हैला सेति पई मध्य ताको आमे खर्च करी हमें बहुत भलो भाबरे आमे चली पारी.
Lal Saheb has big plans for his farms. All the possibilities that will come with micro-irrigation provided by the Gangadhar Meher Lift Irrigation Project, along with the tech training to ensure the farmers use water wisely.
वर्तमान सरकार जेन विभिन्न प्रकार टेक्निकल फैसिलिटी गुड़ा देसन चाषबास करवार लगी तार द्वारा टिके उपकृत होकर आउ टिके अत्याधुनिक टेक्निक गुड़ाक से निजे ग्रहण करी चाषबास से भल से उन्नति करी.
And now Bargar's farmers eagerly gather for a different kind of panchayat meeting, a Pani Panchayat meeting. The 61 water user associations will later be a training ground for Bargarh's people to learn how to manage Bargarh's water all by themselves. Which means many new jobs for Bargarh's families.
This project is going to irrigate about 62,000 acres, and it is going to irrigate in an area which never had irrigation. So imagine the impact it will have on household economy at a family level. They will have option of growing kharif crop, rabi crop, and also vegetables. It will also help them in fisheries, animal husbandry, all the subsidiary sectors. So this will have an overall impact on the area, which used to be a drought-prone area.
The new sowing season is a hopeful one. Fresh innovation will fill Bargarh's farms with many new crops. Odisha shows the way, building solid futures for India's farmers. This is the starting point of a brand new futuristic revolution on India's farms.
And then our Honorable Chief Minister's political will. He put his might behind this project. He wanted this project to be completed in time using the latest technology, and he wanted to see this drought is a thing of past. We should have assured irrigation in these areas. This is a systematic attack on drought-prone areas to make them irrigated so that people on those places, those areas will be lifted above poverty.